Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So we'll continue our lesson on topic 4, objectives of halal business. So previously we've talked on the social and economic objectives of conducting a halal business. So inshallah now we'll continue the last two subtopic on human objectives and national objectives. Okay, so let's look into human objectives first. When we are conducting or opening up a business, it's basically done by people. So it's a human initiated um, thing. And so a human open up a business for the human again, for people again, because we provide products or services to people. And in the process it also involves a lot of human, a lot of people, because we employ them as our workers, as our staff and employers. So basically this is a human oriented process altogether. When we conduct a business, we pretty much we want to be able to provide the best for human, and for our, especially our labor, meaning those people who work with us, and in terms of what, in terms of their welfare, and we should be giving them a salary or a pay that is um, you know can really compensate their effort, and with an opportunity for increment, bonuses in case the if the company is doing well, getting a lot of profit. And we should be sharing this with the workers, because they are the backbone of the company. And so a true uh, employer uh, shouldn't be stingy with their employees, and we should always bear in mind that we are nothing without this, without our workers. So we should be sharing a lot of things, and in terms of the benefit, all the bonuses, dividend or whatnot, and in case, and giving them a lot of opportunities in case the company is is striving to be listed for the first time, to have their IPO listed in the Bursa Saham or whatnot. Employees should be given priority to own these shares. Right? So this is a benefit for the labor, or our staff or our workers. And other benefits, of course you need to look into the health benefit, and giving them insurance coverage, um, in case of uh, many other things, and they should be able to claim from the company in terms of if accidents or whatnot happen during the course of the conducting the work. So this is all clustered under the labor welfare, because we do have companies out there who does not provide such benefit, who does not provide such benefit. So as employee, we should be looking into employers, or seeking employers who does and take good care of our welfare, because this is the whole objectives of conducting business, and because we want to employ people and we want to give them the best in terms of their welfare. So if after working my welfare is still not taken good care of, so what's the point of me getting a job? Okay, and then the next thing is a halal business should be able to develop human resources. We should be uh, increasingly giving out opportunities for our staff and workers to increase and enhance their skills and knowledge. Of course, at entry level, at the entry point, of course, you screen or get all your staff's qualifications and skills, and we always pick the best, and because of course there's competition. But as they join our company, it is also the responsibility of the company to give out trainings, and free trainings, whether it's free training or perhaps you charge them a little bit, and but most of the time, unless it's conducted by an outsider, then perhaps they need to pay, or the company pay. And usually the company pay, and unless they have exceeded the limit or whatnot. But it's actually the responsibility of the company to enhance and increase knowledge and skills of their workers. This is part of our objective because we want to provide and create good quality stuff. And so you can't just say you should know how to do this. You and the bosses, then the company should teach them. Of course, like I say, even though we choose you because you have this qualification, okay, that's entry level. But at the end of the day, the companies still have to instill new knowledges, new skills, and whatnot to their workers, because knowledge is a long life process. It doesn't stop just because you stop taking your degree, just because you start working. It doesn't mean that you stop learning. And new knowledges are coming in, new apps, new technology. So you need to equip your staff with this all of these new skills and technology. So it's actually the objective and of we having all this business and company, and because we want to produce quality citizen and knowledgeable high technology workers, and that can you know be beneficial for the country. Perhaps later on you can just send them outside to other foreign countries, especially if you are growing up your businesses. Okay, and then the next objective is to provide a participative management. What do we mean by participative management? Meaning, we provide opportunities and grounds for our staff to participate in the management of the company. Why? Because they know better. Usually, staff they knew better because they work at ground level. And we have, we have, of course, we have different departments, different units, and you as a business owner on top, you can't possibly know every single thing that's happening in your company, in your factory, or in every unit or in every department. So you need to be asking, for opinions and reports, and ask them. Perhaps they've provided you with a written report, but again, you still need to ask them to join in the meeting and hear what they have to say. Perhaps, okay, they have opinions. What should you do? What should you don't do? And this is what we call as participative management. Just as simple as logic, just because they knew better, right? So when the staff they feel like you know uh, they can participate in the business, is basically they believe that the company is theirs also, right? So it's their responsibility to make the company a profitable company. So inshallah they'll provide you with good genuine advices and opinions, and so that is what we want. We want workers to feel that this company is theirs also, right? So they love it just like they love their life. They don't feel separated as if I have nothing to do with the company, and I just come to work, and at the end of the month I get my pay. Whatever happens to the company, it has nothing to do with me. We don't want that. We want our staff to be fully absorb and join in the company. So that is what we call as participative management. And lastly, labor management cooperation. Even though the company, like I say, we need to always take good care of the welfare of our labor, of our workers, but we cannot deny their rights of having to form their own cooperative or association, macam persatuan-persatuan pekerja, persatuan buruh. And because this is a right that we should be giving them, and because when they have this special coalition association, inshallah, they have a channel and if they want to voice out any disagreement, or perhaps, and it happens in what whatever level, some form of corruption, or mismanagement, and or when they feel that their their voices are not heard, so they have a proper channel to channel all these grievances. So we need to allow them to open up and to register formally Persatuan Pekerja, Persatuan Buruh Pelajar. And this is something that is also endorsed by the law, because I've been working for quite some time. I do find company who does not have this Persatuan Pekerja kan, the workers are basically, they don't really have a proper channel to voice out their grievances, or their discontent and whatnot. Right? So it's always good for us to allow them, to give them the rights of them to form their own club, or whatever you call it, and give it, even though you say, okay, kata I'm as a boss, I've given you the best I can, but we still cannot deny their rights of having this special club and persatuan yang mereka nak ni. Okay, so that is on the human objectives. So lastly, let's talk on the national objectives. This is very straightforward, and why we conduct a halal business. Of course, at the national level, we are actually, we are trying to help our nation, the country, to optimum, to try to utilize the country's resources at that optimum level. Because every country, they have their own resources. Like we here in Malaysia, we have a lot of resources. We have perhaps minerals and oil, a lot of agricultural produce. So these are all our resources. Even water is our resources. So sometimes we can't expect everything to be done, or to be shouldered by the government. So it's all the government's responsibility to optimize all these resources, and to create perhaps kementerian-kementerian, and to fully develop all these resources and give back to the society and to the citizens, because their hands are full as well. So when we have among the citizens who have this ideal creativity and the effort to help the country to fully utilize these resources, perhaps, and we can help the country, and we can help the country to fully utilize all this agricultural produce. Like previously, of course the government gives incentive, but then we have all these small businesses opening up, and to open up, like macam apa, mangga harum manis, and they start to become more innovative, and they perhaps they branch out, and not only the we even I've even heard that durian, and there's some company who provide these services of frozen durian and whatnot. So all of our resources are not wasted, and so it's not underused, underutilized, but we want to uh, optimize them and use them at a full level, so that we can earn more profit, and the company earns profit, and again it goes back to the government, and of course it goes back to the countries, because we are in a country that is full of resources, and so it's a very um, sedih lah if it's underused. So that is on our resources. And national self-reliance. Okay, what do we mean by national self-reliance? We don't want to be relying on other countries, especially in terms of services and products and technology. And we want our country, our citizens, to produce their own products, their own services, their own apps, their own technologies, and now when the vaccines, these COVID-19 vaccines are coming out, people are, oh, I still hear voices. Why didn't Malaysia produce their own vaccines? Because we have countries out there, you know, berlumba-lumba and to produce all these vaccines. See, now that those country with vaccines and they are highly sought after. And even though macam uh, in terms of its reliability or keberkesanan tu not as high as Pfizer, but still on high demand. Contoh macam uh, Sinovac and AstraZeneca. Of course, if you look at the chart, Pfizer would top in terms of its keberkesanan kan. It's highly, kata 90%, over 90% in terms of its keberkesanan. But still, and those are second, third, and AstraZeneca, um, Sinovac, they are still sought after because you know better you just get a vaccine even though it's not Pfizer. Whatever brand it is, people just go after it. Uh, so now we are relying on other countries to provide us with this vaccine because we can't produce it by ourselves. So this is what I mean by national self-reliance. And in the future, you know, we want to reduce this, and we want to reduce this as much as possible. We want companies, we want our citizens to be clever enough, intelligent enough to produce our own technology, and also intelligent enough to market it. Sometimes we do conduct all this research, and but it's on paper. It's on paper. We have PhD holders, professor in a lot of fields, but all of their findings, research, um, still in the book or still in the paper. It's not being commercialized. It's not being commercialized. So this is something that we are ketinggalan ketinggalan. So we hope in the future and not only to produce clever students, but clever students with entrepreneurship values that know how to commercialize their products, their research, their technology. So that is what we mean by national self-reliance. And again, the idea is, the objective is for us to rely on ourselves, not to rely on others too much, not to rely on others too much, because it's always better to rely on your own self. Okay, and the development of small scale of halal industries, and we can also benefit the nation, the country, by conducting these small scale halal businesses. And this is how we help. Again, like I say, we can't be expecting to for the government to provide assistance and to open up a specific, a particular business for one subtopic or for one particular industry. Their hands are full. So we as the rakyat, the citizens, we need to have this uh, awareness and creativity and innovation, and to open up our own halal business for any particular halal halal business. So because again, like I say, it will benefit the country. It will benefit the country. Like previously, even vaccines, and even before this COVID-19 issues, and Pharma Niaga have been looking into producing their own halal vaccines. And perhaps other countries, they don't really, it's not in their agenda for having a halal vaccine, but it's in our agenda. Right? It's in our agenda. So we need to push this, and we need to push this. It's us, the rakyat, and again with the assistance of the government. So if we have this kind, even though it's a small scale, and but we can help the nation. We help the nation. And can you imagine if we have this technology to provide halal vaccines, and Inshallah, it will be a hit lah in the world. And lastly, we can also, by conducting halal business, we are actually helping the country, the nation, to develop backward areas, because which is why the government gives us certain incentive and to open up our factory or our company, not in certain places. You know, not only in like in crowded areas, KL, Shah Alam, and whatnot. They give you special incentive if you open up your factory or your what or your company in certain rural areas, backward areas, just because they want to generate jobs there, and they want to generate jobs there, and they don't want people from that backward areas to migrate to the cities and to urban areas just to find job, because there's no job basically there. But if companies do open up their factories and companies there, and they'll receive special incentives from the government, perhaps discount and whatnot in terms of tax and whatnot, and it also benefits people there. You know, the rural people, the kampong people, the villagers, so they don't have to travel uh, outside of the country. I mean outside of the kampong just to find jobs. So this is the role of opening up of halal business.